Hello and welcome to another GBKM Red Carpet presentation right here from the official Black History Month Kickoff Brunch hosted by the Ontario Black History Society. Of course, I'll be your Red Carpet host for this evening, Romain Redmond, and I am the host of the Alternative Show on GBKM FM. So, with February being celebrated as Black History Month right here in Canada and across the world, of course, the Ontario Black History Society kicks off its official celebrations here in the province. So they outline the schedules and also just remind us of the reason why we do celebrate the rich history, heritage, and of course the contributions that the Black community has made to the province. So don't go anywhere. We'll be talking to the organizers, dignitaries, officials, and also patrons as they come out to celebrate this monumental event. So stay with GBKM FM. Don't forget our platforms on Facebook at GBKM TV. Get us on YouTube at GBKM TV, on our website www.gbkm.fm, also on TuneIn app at GBKM, and you can also get our app from our website and take us with you wherever you go. So don't go anywhere. We'll give you all the exclusive access right here. Well, and I'm being joined by the lovely Fernanda here. But Fernanda, we're at the official Black History Month Kickoff Lunch, and you said that you were here with your organization is?
It's the Central Technical School Alumni Association.
Wonderful. And why was it important for the association to be at this event, though?
They are great supporters of one of our projects. We have been paying tribute to one of Canada's first Black Olympians, Sam Richardson. So they were supportive of naming the pathway in front of the school after Sam Richardson. And this year, on May 13th, we're going to unveil a Heritage Toronto plaque in his honor. And this was possible through the help of many people, and the Ontario Black History Society was instrumental.
Absolutely. I wanted to say thank you so much for coming and representing, and congratulations to the great work that you're doing. But have a lovely day today, okay?
Thank you.
By Spider here. Of course, I got it correct, right? Wonderful. But you're here at the Black History Month official kickoff. How are you feeling so far, though?
Feeling good. We're really happy with this year's turnout as a board member. You put so much work into this for this annual event to kick off Black History Month, and we've got so many great entertainers and people from all walks of life here today to share a little Black history and have a great time and celebrate.
Absolutely, but after so many years of doing this, it's still important that we do it. And what is the significance of us continuing to do things like these?
Well, obviously the pride. Remember, Black history was not taught in school. So without organizations like the Black Ontario History Society, kids wouldn't know this. And I think that's one of the most important things to emphasize. We, the Black community, has contributed to this nation as much as any other. We have so many people that, for instance, I am the first Black man to go coast to coast on radio.
Wow.
Here in Canada, and that was in 1994 at the Fan 590. So I mean, it took us that long to get there. And one of the things I do is try to share that with the public, what it was like, and you feel sort of excluded and alienated. And from my perspective, there's still not enough people of color in the media, especially in radio. You don't see it. Well, you can't see it, but you don't hear it, and we need more of them in the production room so we can get different perspectives on the Black community. And so that's one of the reasons that I joined as a board member for the Ontario Black History Society.
Absolutely. I wanted to say thank you so much for the work that you have been doing on the committee, on the board, and also putting this event together for us on an annual basis so that we can bask in the pride of our Blackness, right?
Absolutely. It's very important because when I grew up going to school, we didn't know anything about Black history. We really didn't. And so we didn't have the kind of pride that people like Martin Luther King and Muhammad Ali and Barack Obama and Malcolm X have instilled into us, about the people like Harriet Tubman and Medgar Evers, and the list goes on and on. We've contributed so much to this great nation.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for joining me on the carpet today. But have a great day today, okay?
My pleasure. Thank you.
Joined by the lovely Marika. Of course, and she's of course here supporting the grand effort in launching Black History Month. But Marika, tell me, how are you feeling so far? What's happening in the room?
Oh, I love it. I love the atmosphere to see everybody coming out of all nationalities and supporting today. It's beautiful.
Absolutely. But as we say, why is it important that you must be here every year, not just this year, but and for those at home too, to come out and support an event like this?
It is very good to see different cultures and different careers. So even for the young generation as well, to see that there's people out there, not just what's on the media, but also to see that we're out here. I'm also in transit, city transit, and I'm also in the healthcare profession.
Wow.
And I'm also on the executive board at QP for my local as well. So we're all out here supporting the cause, and it's beautiful.
And it's wonderful that you should choose to say that, because the lovely thing is I'm seeing literal police commissioners, I'm seeing doctors and lawyers, everyone is here. And even though those are traditional fields of career paths, but everyone is represented.
Absolutely, and that is the beauty of here, just to see that and know that anyone can do this, and all various careers. It's beautiful.
Absolutely, and thank you for joining me here. Have a great day.
My father is an inspiration to all us, all the sons. And I just want to say to my dad, thank you for everything, and we appreciate what you've done for us and how you've raised us to be fine young men and honest men. I just want to say thank you to you.
Of course, I'm being joined here by or local police here, Peel Region Police, but especially special here today is of course Mrs. Berkeley Brown. But Mrs. Brown, events like this, launching Black History Month, of course yourself being off our group, but of course the police getting involved in initiatives like these.
Right, absolutely. This is one of the important events. As an organization, Peel Regional Police is committed to working with the community, and of course that includes the Black community. So events like this is just kind of what propels us to continue to do that work and try to make the inroads with the community.
Absolutely, and I know that one of the mission for the police department is really bridging that gap between the department and the community. Tell us a little bit more about that, please.
And I'm speaking for Peel. In Peel, that is a key thing, because we all know that to build trust, develop trust, it is about working within the community. In Peel, we have what we call our community mobilization team, and that's a group of officers who are committed to being in the community, getting to work with the community. We've got a new chief, Chief Nishan Duriapa. One of the things we do is we've got various advisory committee. One of those is the Black Community Advisory, the Chief's Black Advisory Committee. So that is made up of leaders and members of the Black community of Peel.
Wonderful, but are you liking the turnout here today, because it's a full room?
Absolutely. Listen, as a woman of color and a member who is committed to community development, when I see groups like this, it's inspirational, it's inspiring, and it makes me as an individual want to do even more and get so much more involved with the community. I love it.
Absolutely. I wanted to say thank you so much for joining me on the carpet here today, but enjoy the rest of the day, okay?
I will. Thank you so much.
You see, I've been around a long time, and you know I paid my dues. All right, come on, play the blues for me.
Of course, and right now I'm being joined by the president of the Ontario Black History Society, and I tell you the efforts that herself and her team has put together for this event is absolutely spectacular, and she's just going to give us some insight into that. But Miss Henry, of course, congratulations to you on today's stage.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you can join us. It's great to see a wonderful turnout, another sold-out event as we celebrate our 32nd annual kickoff brunch for Black History Month. And so, I'm looking forward to a great program.
Yes.
Yes.
But of course, you are the president, but putting together events like these, I mean, the official launch of Black History Month, give us some insights into what that is like for the board and yourself. I know it's busy.
Our board is phenomenal. We have a great group of volunteers and our office staff, our manager Michelle and our office assistant Pam, and we have student interns. We start planning, months in advance.
Absolutely.
It takes quite a bit to pull this off, and so, we have a real good effort to help pull things through together for this day. And, when we come here and we see the turnout and how much people really enjoy it, it really makes it worthwhile.
Absolutely. But 37 years, why is it still important, as it was 37 years ago, to have events like this and celebrate Black culture, not just here in the city, in the province?
Well, so it's 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
And, this is our premier fundraising event. The Ontario Black History Society is a nonprofit organization, and a lot of the work that we do, of course, is to preserve and disseminate information about Black history. And so this event really, the funds raised through this helps us to do that, helps us to put on programming throughout the year, as well to help educate other people and to bring this information to the wider public. And so it remains important because people still do not know a lot about Black history in Canada, and the fact that people of African descent have been here for over 400 years. We still do have the reality that in the curriculum there isn't anything that students have to learn around the Black presence in Ontario or in Canada. And so that's some of the gaps that we work to continue to fill, along with working with other organizations across the province, some of the heritage sites, in order to support them with the wonderful programming that they offer as well. And so our work remains very relevant, and we really appreciate all the support that we get.
Wonderful, but how do we continue though throughout the year, not just at this event, but throughout the year, to support the organization Ontario Black History Society? I know phenomenal work going into research and all that fun stuff. How can we get involved as a community and as Ontario in general?
Well, one of the key things, as I said, because we're a nonprofit, funding really does help to make our programming go a long way. And so we're always encouraging people to become members of the Ontario Black History Society. You can find information on our website. We're always looking for sponsors as well for some of our events. For example, this past year was the first time the second time that we had our Emancipation Day event open to the public, something that was more of a private event before. But because of funding and sponsorship from TD Bank, we were and Canadian Heritage, we were able to open it to the public, and almost 300 people attended. So that speaks to the interest and the need for the events that we put on. And so these are some of the ways that people can support us. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and you can keep abreast of all the events that we're hosting, and to come out and show up and show your support for us in that way.
Absolutely. And also, guys, definitely, because you see the thing is with our community, we need to band together, and the police said that earlier today. She's over the moon to see the turnout today, but of course I know you must be happy especially.
I'm thrilled, and our theme this year is Ubuntu, I am because we are, and that really is the sentiment that we want to express, the collectivity and the solidarity. It's glad to see that here today, and it's something that's important for us, for our young people, and for our community to remember, to as a way to move forward. And so I'm really glad that people can enjoy in that theme with us this year.
So then I want to say congratulations to you on behalf of GBKM, but of course we'll definitely see you on the inside. Thank you for talking with me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Because Sister Rose, we'll ride on the back of us no more. Sister Rose was tired one day after a hard day on her job. All she wanted was a brother's sleep, now it's all on the angry mind.
What's an event without, of course, our wonderful president and CEO, Mr. Kenny Baswe? I mean, this is a guy that works tirelessly to ensure that we are here at every event showcasing our very best. But of course, Mr. Baswe, being a part of this event, though, just give us your feelings.
First of all, Mr. Redman, thank you very much. You're doing a wonderful job. Shout out to Ontario Black History Society for bringing us on board this year. This is great, epic. Everybody is here. It's sold out. We're very proud. We're very happy to be part of this great initiative, great movement that is touching life in Ontario and worldwide overall. And we believe and we hope to keep this relationship going and expand on it and touch more lives.
I know from your vision at GBKM that you are a person who is really interested in terms of being careful with the contracts and the events that we take. But of course, Black History Month and its celebration, how important it is to you personally and also for the culture and vision and mission of GBKM FM.
Thank you very much. This tied directly to the apron of GBKM FM. If you go to our website and look into our mission statement, you will see that this tied directly to the apron of our mission statement. We're established to promote Africa, Black cultural heritage and more. So being part of this and participating in an event like this is like a fulfillment for us. It's like an achievement for us because our goal is to join hands together. And to answer your direct question, the world is becoming a global village.
Yes.
Whether we like it or not, we all have to put hands together, beat by beat, and take it to another level. It's been a while. It's been a long time people have been saying our story for us. It's hard time now we come together and say our story for ourselves.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for that, Mr. Basway. But of course, and thank you for being the champion that you are, and for keeping me in a job, of course, keeping me in a job. But of course,
you guys are doing a good job.
it's our pleasure. It's our pleasure.
So I am here with Adoma. Adoma, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do, love?
Great. So yes, my name is Adoma Patterson, and I'm president of the Jamaican Canadian Association, located in Toronto.
Awesome. How is it being the Jamaican Canadian Association?
So you know what? It's a lot of work, but it's a fantastic opportunity. The JCA, most people know it as the JCA, is 58 years old this year. And so I'm the 17th president of the organization, and so I follow a long line of people who have done a lot, not only for the organization, but for the Black community in the Greater Toronto area. And so I'm quite honored to be the current president, overseeing this massive and very important organization in the GTA.
Because you work so closely with a lot of great Black leaders, how does it feel being at this brunch this evening?
So we're always happy to support the OBHS brunch. We are here every year. They are one of our partners because we know that together we are stronger. That when we support each other, when we highlight and celebrate the best in our community, both young and old, that it's an important story for our young people. And so JCA, again, being 58 years old, has always helped to build the capacity of the community and to make sure that our stories are being told. And so we are very, very thrilled to once again support the brunch.
Amazing. Well, you look great, love, and we'll see you in there.
Such fun and such pleasure to meet upon GBKM royalties. Of course, the Honorable Dr. Jean Augustine is no stranger to GBKM, a firm for support of GBKM FM. But of course, today she's here at the official launch for the Ontario Black History Month with the Ontario Black History Society. And this is a lady of many firsts herself. But of course, Dr. Augustine, how are you feeling? Let me start with that.
Good morning, and it's a great opportunity for us to greet each other at the beginning and the opening of Black History Month 2020 in Canada.
But of course, as I said, you're a lady of many firsts. You're one of the very first to sit on Parliament Hill as a female person of color. How was that experience?
Well, that was a great experience, but for me, the legacy thing is what's happening today. It was my motion that created Black History Month in Canada, and so I'm very, very proud and pleased as I see the crowd and I see celebrations all across this country where we're recognizing the talent, the skills, the abilities of people of African descent and their contribution to Canada.
Absolutely, and that was at the turn of the 21st century that we actually got the recognition for Black History Month. And some would think that for so long we had to wait for it, but of course you're the champion who really delivered it to us.
Well, I think it was important in 1993 to have all the members of Parliament recognize the importance of our history. Those of us who were in education realized that the modules and the things that we were teaching in social studies and in history did not include the indigenous people of African descent and others. And so what we're doing now is really amending Canadian history, making sure that we insert those very important issues that make us all Canadian, and that Black history is not just about Black people, it's Canadian history, and it's about our contribution to Canadian history.
And of course, we want to say thank you so much for pioneering that important step in our upward mobility as a society. And of course, do enjoy the rest of the day, okay? We'll give you some time to sit down and just enjoy the ambience of your work.
Thank you very much.
You gotta be singing the blues. Well, I chuckle a little bit and says, a lot of people ask me that question. I'm gonna tell you right now just why I sing the blues. Everybody wanna know why I sing the blues. Everybody wanna know just why I sing the blues. Well, you see, I've been around a long time.
joined here by no strange face to GBKM FM, and definitely no strange face to me. Definitely, it's MPP Mitzi Hunter, of course, candidate for leadership of the Liberals, Ontario Liberal Party. But of course, Mitzi, you're here celebrating today the official launch, Black History Month in the province. I know you've been talking a lot. You've been very vocal about moving the community forward. Give us some more words for that.
Well, it's really awesome to be here on the start of Black History Month, and the Ontario Black History Society always does this brunch as a way to welcome this very special month of reflecting on the importance of Black history here in Canada and the legacy that we have as Black Canadians to building this province and this country. And it's a month that we can celebrate and really inform the broader community of the contributions that Black Canadians have made to Canada.
Absolutely, and being in politics, just the 21st of January, we celebrated Sir Alexander's been named his day. That's his day now. But of course, how important is you standing in the House to say, yes, thank you so much for that?
Well, that was really amazing. Obviously, Lincoln Alexander is an upstanding Canadian from the Black community. He was the first Black person elected to Parliament and served, provincially as well as our Lieutenant Governor. And so to give a day in recognition of the contribution of Lincoln Alexander, I was really honored to be a parliamentarian in the province of Ontario to endorse that, to support it. It's another way of really celebrating Black excellence and letting particularly young people know of the legacy and the contributions of many, many Black Canadians to Ontario and Canada's history.
But of course, you have been very, as I said, vocal on your platform in your campaign for leadership of the Ontario Liberal Party about policies that really reflects the Ontario society. Shed some more light on that for us, please.
So I'm really thrilled to be the change candidate in the race to lead the Ontario Liberal Party and to be Ontario's next premier. And of course, it's history making, and it's an opportunity to really put forward a new face, a new voice, and new ideas for the future of our province. So I'm absolutely thrilled. My platforms include things, like mental health support for young people under the age of 30. I'm really championing the very important issue of gun violence and safety in our community, making gun violence a public health concern so that we can do preventative programs and keep our communities and our neighborhoods safe. Also, of course, education. As the former Minister of Education in Ontario, I have an opportunity to put forward policies that really go beyond what we're seeing right now with the chaos in our classrooms under the current government, and to really focus on excellence and how do we get our graduation rates up to 90%, which includes all students of all backgrounds and all communities, making sure that they succeed in school and have the opportunity to go on to more fulfilling lives and to really choose their career path moving forward.
Absolutely, Ms. Hunter. Thank you so much for joining us on the carpet here today. But do have a great time on the inside, okay?
Thank you, as always.
You are welcome.
Nice to be here with GBK FM at GBKM FM.
Must be told about Sister Rosa Parks. She decided she wasn't going to take it no more. And it goes a little something like this.
Of course, we have to thank all the support that we're getting here at the official Black History Month kickoff brunch hosted by the Ontario Black History Society. And of course, I'm being joined by leader of the NDP here and also the official opposition at Queen's Park representing the community. But of course, Ms. Horvath, how does it feel to be here with us today?
Well, it's always a fantastic event, and it's nice to be in a different venue to kind of change things up a little bit. Lots more room, and as you can see, there's such a buzz happening. People are, really thrilled to be here, as am I, to be here again, because it's really so important to make sure that we are not only, acknowledging and reflecting on the fantastic contributions of the diaspora of Black communities that have built our province, but also making sure that we are recommitting ourselves to some of the challenges that we still face here in this province, and we have to acknowledge that and tackle it.
Absolutely, and I know your platform is big on inclusivity and really ensuring that policies are created so as to ensure that all communities move together in unison, but shed some more light on that for us.
Well, no, there's no doubt about it. I mean, mean, we think everybody should have an opportunity to build a great life here, but we know there are some systemic barriers that prevent that from happening. And so, I mean, we are very disappointed that the province seems to be going backwards in that regard, and some of the proactive work that we convinced the previous government to undertake, like the Anti-Racism Directorate, is kind of being whittled away at by this government, and that's unfortunate because we need those kinds of institutions, if you will, to continue on a consistent basis to fight against those systemic barriers and to make sure that people do have every opportunity to thrive and to build, as I said, a great and successful life here.
Absolutely, but in terms of going forward, though, on the NDP's platform, when we see you as a leader in the House representing as the official opposition, though, what can we expect? More pushing forward?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. In fact, we've established the very first Black Caucus in the history of our province. So our Black Caucus has been, empowered with making sure that we, no matter what file we're looking at, whether it's housing, whether it's healthcare, whether it's economic development and jobs, that we are specifically looking at how do we push forward a program that takes consideration of the Black community particularly, and how do we make sure that in our work we're always trying to tackle those barriers. And so whether it's pushing up against the government and dealing with things like the continued statistics that show an overrepresentation of Black young men in the criminal justice system, or whether that's making sure that Black kids at school don't see more negative outcomes in terms of suspensions and expulsions than other kids. These are things that we need to admit are happening and tackle them, and that's what we're doing.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for coming out and supporting this event today, of course, Ms. Horvath, and thank you for just being the wonderful person that you are and representing the province, of course.
Well, my pleasure, my pleasure. I'm going to enjoy the afternoon like everyone else.
You sure will. Joined by MPP here, Mr. Kosovic. I got it right?
Tom
Rakosovic.
Yes, yes.
Mr. Tom Rakosovic. But of course, being an MP in the area, I must say how important it is in your constituents and serving in, of course, our Queen's Park or Parliament to represent the issues of your community and your riding.
It is, well, it's a great honor and privilege. Humber River Black Creek has been my lifelong home. I grew up as a tenant in the area, saved up with my family, and have a home there now, and it's my favorite place in the world.
But of course, Black History Month, though, and celebrating with the members of your riding who are a part of the Black community, and as their MP, what are you pushing forward for them, and what are you pushing forward for the building of Ontario itself?
Well, I'm with the official opposition in the NDP. We're pushing for strong investments in education, you name it. We're pushing for the policies that represent the average person, not the wealthiest, not the ones that have everything their way, but those like the people in my community, regular, everyday working families that are struggling to make ends meet and feel disrespected. That's not right.
And of course, you're there to ensure that those ills are corrected. But of course, the Ontario Black History Society, though, I want you to just commend them on the work that they're doing as the MP in the area.
I want to thank the Ontario Black History Society for their important work, this incredible event. And I always want to thank GPKM, who's doing great work. I love your interviews. I love speaking to you, and you're really doing a great job.
Absolutely. And thank you, sir, for joining me on the carpet. But do have a great time on the inside, okay? And of course, I'm being joined by Naki here. I tell you, I'm loving the colors, but of course, you're with TD today.
Thank you. I'm with TD. I'm the Associate Vice President of Social Impact.
Absolutely. But social impact, Black History Month, mix those together for us.
There's so much to say. I mean, the importance of events like this is that we need to hear more stories. We need to hear more narratives. We need to hear different versions of what we call history. And so the Ontario Black History Society does a really important job of both capturing the history that has come behind us, but also the history that's happening today. People are making achievements that are going to be part of the stories we tell our children in generations to come.
Absolutely, but social impact and the banking sector, finances, that's two different lanes. How do they mix?
They actually mix very, very closely. More and more people are expecting corporations like banks to take a stand on big issues. And so as a bank, we feel it's our responsibility to contribute to the communities in which we work.
Absolutely. And of course, Nike, I want to say thank you so much for sponsoring such a lovely event and being a part of the upward mobility for the community. That's for one. But we'll definitely be seeing you on the inside. And thank you for joining me on the carpet.
Dad, thank you for everything, and we appreciate what you've done for us and how you've raised us to be fine young men and honest men. I just want to say thank you to you from the bottom of my heart.
I'm being joined here by Mr. Bailey. Mr. Bailey, here we're supporting the official launch kickoff of Black History Month, but you yourself is a stalwart in the Black community.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm just really glad to be here to help celebrate Black History Month and Black culture, Black people with the OBHS.
And you'll be delivering the keynote address today.
Well, that's right, yes. I am honored and humbled to be the recipient of the Daniel G. Hill III Award and to be offering some of my own remarks to the audience.
But some of those points that you touched on, and don't give us our speech, but the importance of really celebrating Black pride, Black culture, Black history. Shed some more light on that. Why is it so important, even today's day, to keep doing that?
Well, you know, there are a lot of forces working against the expression of Black people in society. So those might be just anti-Black racism, those might be institutional problems, and we need to be able to, first of all, assert our presence, that we've been here for hundreds of years in this country, we have a lot to contribute, that we have something to say, and that this helps us do that.
Absolutely. I wanted to say thank you so much. I'm not going to have you talk anymore because you're going to be giving us the keynote address, so just save the voices so that you can do a great job. But thank you for joining me on the carpet, sir, Mr. Bailey, and have a wonderful day.
I sing the blues. Well, you see, I've been around a long time.
Perfect. And I'm being joined by Lisa right now. But Lisa, here at the official Black History Month kickoff brunch, though, why is it important that you had to be here today?
Oh, I had to be here because this is the foundation and the roots of all of us. And they're really focused on education, well-being, excellence, and the fabulousness of Blackness.
Celebrating our pride.
Right, absolutely. And it's more than that. It's this idea that everybody uses this word Black excellence, but it's more than excellence.
By MPP for Brampton North, of course, Mr. Kevin Yard. But Mr. Yard, coming out to the official launch of the Ontario Black History Month celebrations, though hosted by the Ontario Black History Society. As an MPP representing your constituency, who has a huge amount of persons of Black community and also visible minorities, what does this mean to you personally and on your platform?
It means a lot to me. And not only am I a member of the NDP, the first Black caucus in Ontario as well, and I'm also a member of the Ontario Black History Society. This is the turnout here is spectacular. There's literally over 1,000 people I think are going to be here today, and it's to celebrate Black history, celebrate Black achievements, and we don't get to do that too often. I mean, I know there's Black History Month, but we should be celebrating this throughout the year, and it means a lot to me in my community. We have a large Black population in Brampton North and in Brampton in general. And this is great to be here and represent the fine folks of Brampton North, and of course to continue to push for social and economic justice for Black youth as well as for Black people in Canadian society. So hopefully we can talk a little bit about that as well here today.
Absolutely, and going off that too, I know one of the platforms that you have campaigned hard on and the NDP is campaigning hard on is really getting curriculums in school that is representative of the Black community, inclusive rather, of the Black community and minority groups. But spread some more light on that for us.
Sure, exactly. We have actually are pushing the government to talk about anti-Black racism in the Peel School Board. Too many times we hear from parents calling my constituency office saying my son or daughter is being streamed into different curriculum. They are being told if they do something wrong in the school, instead of being disciplined, they are getting expelled. Or they're getting extreme forms of discipline. So there's a lot going on, not just in the Peel School Board, but right across Ontario. So we want the government to take a look at this, hard look at it, and to address any concerns in terms of anti-Black racism. So that's part of the Black Caucus that I'm a part of with Jill Andrew, Faisal Hassan, as well as Rima Burns and Laura May Lindo. So the five of us are going to continue to push the government to look at not just systemic racism in school boards, but other areas such as economic justice, social justice as well for the black community.
Wonderful. But as you continue to do that fight for us at Queen's Park, what can we do to aid in that effort?
Well, if you should always approach your MPP, whether it's Conservative, Liberal, NDP, and talk to them if you have any concerns, because we'll never always know unless you come forward with your concerns, and then we can address it at Queen's Park. So that's why we're here to listen to you.
A long time, and you know I paid my dues.
What's the celebration without a little performance, right? Right now I'm being joined by Julie Black, who will be giving us a splendid performance throughout the day. But Julie, though, you're here today. How do you feel?
I feel blessed. I feel privileged. I'm very grateful to be here. I'm here to represent Caroline or Change, which is the musical that I'm a part of.
Oh.
I'm the lead in that play.
Nice.
It's starting January 30th at the Winter Garden. And it's just nice to be in a space with tones and pigments that look like me.
Absolutely. But and I was just going to follow up with that. But how important is to lend your talents to events like these, though?
Well, I think that, it's one thing to come in to just be like, okay, I'm going to lend my talent. And it's another thing to be purposeful and have an intention. And so I never show up unless there's a reason that's going to be, mutually beneficial, that's going to serve and soothe the soul.
And really impactful.
Absolutely, yes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to your performance tonight. But thank you so much for coming, and do have a great day, okay? Can't be anything like Black History Celebration without fashion. And of course, I'm being joined by Stella by Designs, and you can see what's happening here. The next, just give us a spin, a quick spin. You have to show off your work. Wonderful. But of course, Stella, you were just telling me of the wonderful things that you are doing. Shed some more light on that for us.
Well, first of all, we have African Fashion Week that comes up every August, and that is to promote couture designs from London, England. I'm a designer myself. For Canada's 150, I did a whole bunch of Afrocentric sheets and pillowcases to commemorate Canada's 150. And I constantly designing, but I'm also an advocate. We're talking about Regent Park, just put out a film called Farewell Regent. And there's a lot of things that we have to be mindful happening in the city of Toronto.
But of course, being a part of the official kickoff brunch today, though, how important was that for Stella by Design, yourself personally, to get involved?
Well, first of all, I was invited because the MP couldn't show up, and we do the work. It's important for me to be here because it's one of the first events I've been to in many years, and then I follow by the mayor invites me to his event to commemorate Black History Month. So it's a whole slew of events throughout the whole month. Yeah.
And that's the thing that the Ontario Black History Society is going to be unveiling for us today. Of course, the schedule for the month as we continue in our celebration. But of course, Stella, thank you so much for joining me on the carpet today.
Let me hear you. All night long. All night long.
Wonderful. And the great part about your celebration is that everyone comes out to celebrate. And of course, I'm being joined by this gentleman here. So just give us an introduction, please.
My name is Faisal Hassan. I'm the Member Provincial Parliament for the Great Riding of York Southwestern, which is a part of the northwestern part south of the 401.
Yes. And of course, but the great city of Toronto, though, and of course, the Ontario Black History Society celebrating Black Pride in our city and in our province, though. How does that speak to your platform? I know you're a champion for all that and really bringing the community together. Just shed some more light on that for us.
Well, as a member of the Black Caucus, member of the official opposition, it is an honor for me to celebrate our history and the reflections of the last year, and also remembering the past and making sure that the community is vibrant and strong, and that we don't forget about our history, and we are proud of who we are, and also to continue to fight for opportunities for the community and also the larger community as well.
And I know your platform, and of course the NDP's platform, speaks widely about really getting the community active in policy making. I know they've had consultations in terms of like budgets and community programs. Give us a little more, bit more on that, please.
Definitely, as a member of the Black Caucus and the member of the official opposition, and also the critic for the youth engagement, I think we need to make sure that the community has to be listened, and I think the community also has been studied to death. It is time for action to translate those and also deal with the important issues that we have in terms of education, healthcare, and also jobs, opportunities, also auto insurance, childcare. It's huge issues. We have been neglected for the last 30 years, especially the last 15 years, from bad to worse. And we need to make sure that the community also gets involved and being part of the resistance to make sure that we are heard, and we will. As a member of the official opposition, and I'm a member also of the Black Caucus, we want to listen to the Black community, our community, to make sure that this time around that we are not just dashed our hopes and our dreams as the last 15 years we have been let down, and we want to make sure that it never happens again, and we fight together to make sure our issues are addressed.
Of course, I'm being joined by Mr. Herschel, of course, with the Toronto Film Festival, Black Film Festival, of course, and you're here to tell us about some exciting ventures for our Black community.
Yes, so basically it's starting on February the 12th. It ends on February the 17th. It's a 6-day event where we just showcase a lot of Black films, a lot of Black projects. Not necessarily Black-centric, but people that are going to be giving projects and stories that have a Black theme in it. It starts on the Wednesday, which is opening night. The headliner event is with Spike Lee on the Thursday, and he's going to be having a Q&A event afterwards where people can sit down and just listen to him talk. The last day is going to be on Family Day, where you can bring your kids and your loved ones and grandkids, and everyone can have a good time and watch
family entertainment.
Family entertainment on a Monday, on a day off where no one's working. So
on a Monday,
so there's no excuse to not come. So make sure you're there.
But how can we get tickets and all that stuff though?
So you go on TorontoBlackFilm.com. Get all the information there, and you'll be good to go.
And of course, in terms of supporting Black stories and Black creators, how important that, I know the organization was built on the foundations of that, but how important is it for society to accept that and of course really support?
I think it's very important. I think it's actually vital for our community to thrive, because we have to be in control of our own content. We have to be in control of our narrative. If we have some other people talking about what we've gone through or what we intend to go through moving forward, it's not going to resonate as well if we're not the ones talking about it. So we need to be the ones behind the camera telling the stories just as much as we're the ones in front of you.
Joined by the lovely Miss Christine Mathlin, and of course Christine Mathlin is no stranger to GBKMFM, but of course today she's here supporting the official Black History Month kickoff hosted by the Ontario Black History Society.
Yes, no, it's important. It's important to be here to celebrate Black accomplishment and Black history. Too many times we're forgotten out of history books, and we don't have an opportunity to use our voices, but many of us celebrate it every single day, so we don't have to celebrate Black History Month only for February. It's every day, every of the whole year.
Absolutely. But even for younger folks coming up, though, why is it important for us to get in the spirit of really celebrating the pride that we have in the Black community?
Well, it's important because the reality is everything that we have benefited from has come from our ancestors and the past that they've paid for us. So we need to celebrate it. We need to know our history. And if we don't know our history, then we won't know our path going.
This event be today without, of course, the vision of our sitting board member for the Ontario Black History Society, and being joined by Miss Dorothy, your treasurer.
Yes, I am, Dorothy Abbott.
Dorothy Abbott.
Paulette Kelly, I'm a board member.
Absolutely. But ladies, putting this together, I'm going to touch on the finances. I'm going to relieve you of the treasury duty for today, but just let us focus on the importance of really putting on events like this and ensuring that each year we have something like this to come to, even if it's just to build up the pride for Black History Month.
Oh, absolutely. We need to do a big build-up every year because it's really important to get the word out there. It's important to draw all the people in the Black communities together and invite people from other communities to come out and experience with us.
Absolutely. But of course, sitting on the board, what has that experience been like?
It's been really very gratifying to see so many people coming together, doing this large event. It's been very, very successful. And we get a chance also to connect with people we don't always see every day.
Absolutely.
You
know? Yeah. But of course, ladies, you sit on the board and you have all the inside knowledge. Next year, what can we expect? Any snippets you can throw away this year?
No, once this event is over, then you go back to the drawing board and start fresh for the next year. But I have to grab this opportunity to say I also sit on the board of another black organization.
And that is?
That's the Owen Sound Emancipation Festival. And it's been celebrating in Owen Sound for over 157 years. So that happens in August 1st, Emancipation Day. Another big event that we need to get the communities to come out and join and celebrate and learn their history with us.
Absolutely. I want to say thank you, ladies, for your work here today. I see everything is coming together wonderfully so far. And let's hope the day just progresses on that trend, right?
Absolutely. Thank you.
So then thank you for joining us, for joining me. Thank you.
All night long.
When gentlemen come out and support events like this, and of course Femi here and Dwayne looking ever so dapper in their suits. They just complimented me on my jacket, but these guys took it. But of course, tell us, why is it important for you guys to be here today, though?
I think it's important for us to be here. You know, myself and Dwayne. Dwayne, you know, being a director, you know, he just finished wrapping up work with Lauryn Hill. You know, traveling with Chronixx across the world, doing a tour. And this is, you know, a friend of mine that, you know, since we were young, we kind of been developing our dreams. So, you know, coming into this room around other black, you know, influencers, you know, some movers and shakers, I think it's important that, you know, they get to see, we get to feel, we get to share stories and connect with one another.
But Dwayne, Lauryn Hill is my favorite artist, female of all times. But of course, and she's really one of those persons who have represented the black culture. What kind of inspiration have you taken from her?
Man, working with Lauryn Hill, like, she's the definition of hard work and detail and how important it is to really stick together. She's very hands-on. And yeah, like, me traveling the world and being able to come back to my home city to kind of represent what I've been able to accomplish myself and just share it amongst the black community is important. So we stand for that, and like, we're hoping to connect and build wealth and build ownership within our black community.
And I want to continue on that, because the thing is, we are the ones who are going to have to take all this and move it into the future. What are your plans for that?
Well, we're already in motion. First, we have to take care of ourselves. We have to build ourselves and build our circles. And then once we have something to offer to our community, that's what we're going to do. Because a lot of times, you know, we spread ourselves thin without having our own plans. So we're working on that, and then, you know, we have big plans, multi-million-dollar plans in the works.
Absolutely, and thank you, gentlemen, for joining me today. But do enjoy the rest of the event, okay, sir?
I'm fantastic. It's Mark Andrews. I'm the Deputy Chief of Peel Regional Police, and I'm here to celebrate, to help kick off the celebrations for Black History Month. This is something I do every year. I've done this, I think, my fourth year. Fourth or fifth. The years start blending into each other, and I'm at that age where I don't remember everything. But for me, this is a very important occasion. You know, we need to celebrate Black History Month, but we need to celebrate Black history, period. Because Black history is Canadian history. We're part of the fabric of this community, and we have worked hard to help build Canada and take Canada to where it is, starting with the before Canada was Canada.
That is so true. No, I agree with you. What would you say? How would you say we are connecting Black History Month with this event and whatever is going on?
Well, what I'm seeing here is different segments of the Black diaspora come together under one roof to celebrate all of our shared history and shared culture.
And connecting with the department and the community. What are your plans for that?
Well, our connection to community goes beyond just celebrating history and cultural events. It's about really understanding our communities, showing our communities that we value them, we value their voices, that we want to engage with them in a positive way. The founder of modern day policing said the police are the community and the community is the police. The public is the police. So we have to be part of our communities. We have to engage with our communities, and our communities have to understand that we are them. And by extension, it's not just about race or ethnicity or religious. It's about real, meaningful, authentic understanding.
I really love. I said I love my
My name is Sharif Sabawi. I'm the MPP for Mississauga Erin Mills, and I'm the PA for the Ministry of Heritage, Sports, Culture, and Tourism.
Perfect. Can you tell us about some policies or some things that are going to be in place sooner than later in the future that has got to do with the Black community and the city of Mississauga?
First of all, I would like to congratulate the Black community with the month, Heritage Month of the Black community. I am African as well. I'm Egyptian origin, so I consider myself African. And I'm really happy to see activities in the African community. And as a Ministry of Heritage, Culture, Tourism and Sports, we have lots of programs to help the organizations who are promoting the heritage and promoting the different cultures. And as African and as an MPP, I would love to see more activities in this side. We need to raise the awareness of the Canadians, of the contributions of the African origin, the Afro-Canadians who did contribute to building the new Canada.
Representing the Canadian Black Chambers of Commerce. But of course, ladies, just tell us your involvement here today. Why is it important that we had to be here? Everyone has to be here.
So it's important that we come together as a community, celebrate our culture, look around, we're so beautiful. Today, it just shows the growth of the Canadian Black and, our culture. So I think it's important for us to be here.
Absolutely. And before we go any further, you didn't give me your name and tell me all the things that I told you to say on camera.
No problem. So my name is Raven Carolinen, and I'm one of the founding members of the Canadian Black Chamber of Commerce.
Absolutely. And lovely to hear.
My name is Andrea Barrett. I am also one of the founding members of the Canadian Black Chamber of Commerce.
Absolutely. But the Canadian Black Chamber of Commerce, though, and involvement in events like this and partnering with, of course, the Ontario Black History Society, what does that partnership look like from now going into the future, though?
Well, it's like Raven said, really important to be here. We support the OBHS. We come to all of their events, and we like to bring the angle of Black business history. So talk about where we've been and where we're going and where we are currently. So it's important to, as Raven said, to collaborate and work together with all the organizations in Ontario and in fact in Canada that support the Black community.
Absolutely. You mentioned where we're going. Where are we going? Canadian Black Chamber of Commerce.
Well, Romain, I'm so glad you asked that question. We have actually just launched the next phase, which is we want to launch a credit union. So the first Black financial institution in Ontario. So we've just started the pilot. So we're doing a survey. So we're asking everyone to fill out the survey. They can email us at info@blackchamber.ca or visit our website at www.blackchamber.ca. We're working in collaboration with the Jamaican Canadian Association and the Lions Circle. So the goal is to have our own financial institution, a credit union, where we can, so it's for us, by us. So one of the struggles Black business owners have is access to capital. So I've seen people with great business plans and money in the bank, and banks have denied them. So it's time for us to do it ourselves, and we can do it ourselves.
So yes, we sure can. And of course, ladies, thank you so much for joining me today. But do enjoy the rest of the day, okay? Looking ever so much.
All night long. All night long. All night long. Well, I've been around a long time. I really love. I said I love. I love my blues.
is a song.
Hello and welcome to another GBKM Red Carpet.
The Ordinary People Show.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you're listening from in the world. My name is Jacqueline Dixon, and you're tuned in to the Ordinary People Show. Ordinary people can do extraordinary things. And we're broadcasting live from Toronto, Canada, powered by GBKM TV Network.
The Region Appeal website to know what the updates are and how they can get the support they need for this pandemic.
Wonderful. And what was that website again? Is it still at brampton.ca? We can visit for all those updates?
Well, that's brampton.ca, absolutely. If you go to brampton.ca, you'll see the banner that says the COVID-19, and there's
so happy studio today, ladies and gentlemen, for another outstanding blockbuster interview brought to you by your one and only host, Jacqueline Dixon. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who watch or follow me on social media, you know what's up. You know the type of information that we're going to be sharing very shortly, and you know the type of high-powered guest that we're going to be bringing forward. Matter of fact, I've got a double whammy for you today, in all honesty. I've got two super-powered guests that are going to be sharing the spotlight with me today, and I'm going to introduce both of them after the first commercial break. But before we get to that, let me start with my pleasantry.